Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the important and very popular essay by Alfred George Gardiner. The title of the essay is On the Rule of the Road. In this short video, I will talk about how this essay has addressed the important issue of liberty, how Gardiner has talked about the individual and the social liberty, how both liberties are equally important, and for a good, healthy human society, we must compromise our freedom and we must also sacrifice our individual happiness. In certain cases, we need to care about the society, and in some cases, we must follow our individual liberty. So, how one must compromise while living in the society and for a good human society. There are a couple of other issues also this essay has addressed, and it has been explained through certain examples which we find in our daily routine life. I hope you will enjoy this essay. The first and the foremost question or the issue that this essay addresses or raises is, what does the rule of the road mean? Now, here, A.G. Gardiner is not only talking about the traffic rules and how one must follow them. It is symbolic. He talks about two types of liberties, the individual liberty and the social liberty, and how both liberties are equally important. So, the liberties of all must be preserved, and if you want to preserve them, you must curtail your individual liberty. So, liberties of all may be preserved, the liberties of everybody must be curtailed. So, without curtailing your individual liberty, you can't allow others to enjoy their liberty. And you need not always to curtail your own liberty for the sake of others. So, you must also think about your individual liberty or your individual freedom. So, you have to submit to a curtailment of private liberty in order that you may enjoy a social order, which makes your liberty a reality. So, without having an appropriate balance between both the liberties, it will be a difficult situation or it will be a chaotic situation. So, your liberty will only be a reality when you allow others to follow their reality, for others to follow their liberty. So, private liberty, that you must be conscious about it, and equally, you must also think about the social reality or the social liberty. So, here both are reciprocal, they are interdependent, and you know that one must make a balance between them. And therefore, it is said that liberty is not a personal affair only, but a social contract. And you know that contract is between two groups or between two people or between two sides. And here it is an accommodation of interests. So you not to worry, or you need not to always think about your own interests, but you should also think about the interest of others. And therefore, these kinds of rules are very important in human society. So here A.G. Gardiner is not only talking about what are the rules and how one must follow them, but there are certain manners and etiquette that every member of the society must follow in the human society. These rules are not only followed on the road, but every sphere of human life or every field of human society. And therefore, these are the important rules that he is talking about it in this essay. This essay raises another important question, and that is, what is the foundation of social conduct? Now, when we talk about the social conduct, we not only think about the rights and feelings of an individual, but we also talk about the rights and feelings of others. So, a reasonable consideration for the rights or feelings of others is the foundation of social conduct. So without considering others, you can't have a good society. And also you did not to, neglect the rights and feelings of an individual. So here the two liberties need to be preserved: the personal or individual liberty and the social liberty. So everyone's liberty must be respected or it must be preserved. So you must preserve an individual liberty, and you did not, or you could not forget the liberty of society or the liberty of others. So it must be respected, it must be preserved. Then it is valuable or it is important. And you know that when you consider of others, you need to curtail your private liberty, and then only you may enjoy a social order, which makes your liberty a reality. So by neglecting rights and feelings of others, you can't enjoy your own liberty or you can't enjoy your own freedom. So both personal and social liberties are important, and then only we can have an appropriate balance, and we both of them could enjoy their respective liberties. And it is the basic foundation of the social conduct or the human society, and this foundation must be maintained. Or we have seen that how A.J. Gardiner has discussed and defined the individual liberty and the social liberty, and he has also made the distinctions between them. That we have also seen that in order to follow the first, we need to sacrifice the second, or in order to preserve the social liberty, we need to sacrifice the individual liberty. But this is the part and parcel of human society. And you know that in a human society, we need to follow them. We need to follow certain social etiquettes. One needs to observe in a civilized society, as well as to the world of diplomacy and statecraft. So this issue of liberty that A.G. Gardiner has linked it at the international level, or at the relationship between different nations at international level. So this kind of a connection of the conduct of individuals in the social sphere to the conduct of nations on the world stage. So big nations have no right to bully smaller nations to submission, just as you have no right to play loud music all night to keep your elderly neighbor awake. So as Gardiner notes, or he argues, that it is the little habits of commonplace intercourse that make up the great sum of life and sweeten or make bitter the journey. So there are such kind of small instances or situations in which you must always conscious about it, and you must not you only think about yourself, but you should also think about others, and then only we could have an enjoyable journey, or we could make days of everybody happy and pleasant. Otherwise it will be difficult for them, and they could not enjoy their liberty. So as it is your right to enjoy your liberty, it is also others right to enjoy their liberty, and then only we could have a good and happy journey, or good and happy place for everyone. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you would have enjoyed it. Have a great time. Thank you.